Alright, hello again. It's Ryan and Valerie from our little adventure property, and we got into it pretty deep today, or this weekend. We're still at the point where we're not living here full time. We're in a transitional state, and we came down to A, look for work, and B, move some more stuff down. And we found mud, lots of mud. Uh,
Lots of mud.
yeah, we were warned that it was mud season, and I was a little naive as to exactly what that meant. But it's been a mess. It was very discouraging on the first night. We got here on a Thursday night, or yeah,
Thursday
on a Thursday afternoon, yes. And it was bad. Uh, we in the first night we got the truck stuck in the mud about 2 miles from our camper, and had to walk the rest of the way.
Carrying essentials.
Yeah, carrying food and that was a long trip. Alright, don't know how well these shots are gonna get, but no, it's fine. I gotta walk with it. I'll start over. Don't know how well these shots are gonna get, but last night we had an interesting experience getting here. We were told it was mud season, but didn't really know what to expect. So now, after walking about 2 miles last night, because the truck got stuck in the mud, we are out at 5 a.m. after waiting all night that the ground would freeze and we could actually get the truck out and back to the camper. So, after getting the truck stuck in the mud on night number one, we hiked out at 4 a.m. because our only hope was that the ground was frozen and we could get the truck out and back to the camper. And sure enough, thankfully that worked. We did get the truck to move, and once it's on top of the frozen ground, that was no problem to drive here because it was fine. But as soon as the stuff thaws, it's just sloppy, slimy, greasy, and even with four-wheel drive, you barely stay on the road. You're sliding all over the place. There's ruts, and yeah, it was a mess. But before we even got to get the truck stuck, we had a little more fun. Alright, here's a little bit better shots of the truck now that it's daylight. We were able to get in and out. It wasn't pretty, but we did it. But before we could accomplish this, we got to do this. Coming down the road, I got too close to the edge, and the the trailer slid into the gully here. That's this morning's project. We have it full of, I'd say, about a ton of stuff, and we're gonna have to empty it before I can even think of getting it out of there. But the important thing is we got to get this done before the road starts to melt, or we're not getting back again. So we're gonna get busy.
Well, we got the trailer stuck, and it was stuck good.
Yeah. So the following morning, we had to get up real early because the ground was frozen, and drive the truck out to the stuck trailer, plus some other business we had to take care of in town. So we tried to hustle around to get that done, and well, one of the things we had to get is a storage unit, because we have to store some of our personal belongings in a storage unit until we can get some kind of structures built out here. But yeah, so we went to the trailer, loaded from the trailer into the truck and got the storage unit, which we didn't have yet, so we had to wait for them to get there. And so we got all that set up. But by the time we got done doing that, we came back to the trailer and met our first neighbor, great guy. He offered to help us get the trailer out on Saturday morning, which we were kind of a little hesitant on because we're Seventh-day Sabbath keepers. But if that ain't an ox in the ditch, I don't know what is. So we accepted his offer, but that had to be at 8 a.m. So by the time all that got done, we tried to make another run back to the camper for the day, and that was about noon, and this time we made it about 1.5 miles from the camper. And
it's stuck again.
Got the truck stuck again. Well, it wasn't stuck this time as much as it was I'm not going to get it stuck. So I took a strategic place to stop, and yeah, we just parked it there for the night and walked 1.5 miles in.
Carrying just a few essentials this time.
15-pound propane bottle. Because
you're crying.
my one propane bottle wasn't working, but that's another story for another day. That brings us to Saturday, or almost to Saturday, because on Friday afternoon, our friendly neighbor tried to come back to tell us that he forgot about an appointment that he had, and he would have to do it Sunday. And in the way to get back here, he got his Bobcat stuck in the mud. And so we realized that, okay, we still needed at least 2 more truckloads out of the trailer to get the trailer unstuck, or to get it empty so we could get it unstuck. Because I figured once it was empty, we could pull it out of the ditch pretty good. So he came back to tell us that. He got his Bobcat stuck, and it was stuck in the middle of the road. So on Saturday morning, start another day at 4 a.m. so we can hike the 1.5 miles back to the truck. We realized that the Bobcat was still in the road and was impassable. So we went to the trailer, unloaded the trailer, and got done with unloading the trailer by 8:30 this morning. And I thought, let's see if we can tug on it and pull on it. And I hadn't taken the camera, so my apologies to you. But would have been good to record that, because it only took an hour, but it was a lot of pull a little bit, change the angle, change the chain, keep the trailer from tearing the landing gear off the trailer. But it took an hour of work, and we finally got it out, and got it out onto the road, parked it in a flat spot, and just let it there, because we're planning on leaving tomorrow on Sunday. But yeah, by that time it was 9:45 when we started to head back, and the road was already starting to melt, and I don't know if we would have made it either way, but we only made it as far as the Bobcat, which meant another 1.25 miles approximately hike on the sloppy, muddy road, which you do your best to avoid. The only bright spot this morning was the fact that if we stayed in the shadows, the ground was still frozen and made the walking a lot easier. And there wasn't much to carry this morning too. That was a real treat.
Yep.
All right, that brings us to what we're recording right now. I guess I wish we would have been had the camera along to record the trailer, but
I'm not sure how I
Extraction.
would have recorded that because I was driving, you were helping the trailer, and that would not have worked very well.
yeah, but would have been nice to show some of the details at least. But that was kind of an impromptu decision based on we got everything we need to get done early enough that we could take a stab at it, and
It did work.
it worked. Yeah, it worked rather well. But the reality, the education that we learned this weekend is we need, at least for a couple months a year, we need to have some serious four-wheel drive or off-road equipment. And our car, we have a Subaru WRX. I put a lift kit on it, and we're going to get bigger tires, but that's still laughable. That is no hope of making it through this. So, yeah, we have to figure. We haven't figured that out yet. A backhoe's in the process. Is going to be in the process, obviously, to do building. It's essential. But that could be a morning and afternoon commute vehicle. But that only takes care of one of us. May have to. Another idea that we've come up with is possibly buying another four-wheel drive and park the WRX for
Just a few months.
a few months a year, because
You gotta have some fun. You can't get rid of it.
it gets back here fine when it's dry
Yes.
and the road's maintained. But there's only me and one neighbor back here, and this is considered a private road, so it's not maintained by anyone but us. He's maintained it all along by himself. I hope that he's going to be happy to find out that there's someone else here to help him with that. But for now, until I get a backhoe, I have to rely on him for that. And apparently he knows the season we're in, because the neighbor we did meet told us, who is about 2 or 3 miles away. That's another neighbor. But the near neighbor, we were told that he's in Hawaii.
He's not dumb.
Yep. So, yeah, like I said, it's very educational, very eye-opening. It was a little discouraging. Did have that moment where, what have we gotten ourselves into? But this is just another challenge of many we're going to face. So, thanks for joining us.
This ditch back here that you can kind of see, that's nothing compared to what some of them are
Yeah,
that we had to go through.
the little dips and valleys. There's not a lot of elevation change, but the little dips and valleys that are just a mess. Like I said, full-size four-wheel drive truck, and no hope of getting through there in the middle of the day. None at all. But any tips, suggestions, comments? Be sure to share. Until we visit again, thanks for watching.
Glad that was you. I'm actually really glad you didn't fall. I don't know.
I thought I may have.